Yo, Tony D. Have a dark one here. Batman Dark Knight, Dark City, anything dark, I'm on it. 452, got Peter Milligan on the script, Kieron Dwyer on the pencils, Dennis Janke in the color, and also you got Mignola on the cover. And this is another great cover. It mirrors what you're fixing to delve into. It really captures Gotham in the light that it really is. These reds here really reflect like an oppressive, dreadful type place. And then you have the gargoyle, and Gotham is as much a character in these books as anything. But let's get into the darkness. We're starting off and we're having this ritual. You get right to the Gothic style flavor that they're putting out here. And what they're doing is it's a ritual to summon Barbatos, the bat demon. And they had to prepare their sacrifice before the ritual. And what's even more unsettling about this, it's really a historic unease that I felt reading this, because we find out that Thomas Jefferson is involved in this as well. And it's just has this flavor of just having a prominent figure from history there really made this more impactful. Then we bleed over. This is a great transition, especially speaking of Barbatos. This right here is great. Dwyer really nails the pencils in this one. And I just love how this is just a silhouette. It's very much a demon itself. And it's a very great segue into our guy, Gordon here. And I love the paneling there where it's just his eye. And he just, are you sure it's him? And I love this right here. I am Gotham. There's narration that goes on in here. It's not Batman. I think it is more of the mystical element that narrates. And you'll see more of that as we go along. And even more, the architecture of Gotham really plays a role in this. Fantastic. And look at the cape. Dwyer is just killing it with the silhouette and the cape shapes. The cape drawing really stood out for me, but it's beautiful. It's fantastic. We have the Riddler is up to his old tricks, and Batman notices that there's someone else up here. This is the ninja in Batman. I totally love it. He's almost more than just a man. And somebody like the hands, that is creepy, props himself up. And it looks like a ritualistic style type garb. And she gives Batman a riddle, and she's in a hypnotic state, and she drops herself. Batman, he goes into Batman mode for sure, and he tries to save her, but she crashes through this window. And it's that right there sets it up where this is just more personal. It's the horror is personal because she don't make it through that. And then we go straight to the library, and you have the Riddler here, and now you're seeing this tonal shift of the Riddler. He's usually a flamboyant type villain, but now he has this disturbing edge, and you don't know where it's coming from right now. And his riddles are just laced with death. Right here, he just does it. That blew my mind when I saw that. I was like, okay, we're dealing with a different Riddler. That's what makes this story even more intriguing, is just the tonal shift of that character. Shout out to the writer for having the depth to bring him to that level. It's really bringing him up to more villain status than a clown, really. Batman, he's dealing with, this is where it gets personal. Love the color. Totally reflects the personal nature of where this is going right now. And then you get back to this historical unease. It was disturbing to see this with Thomas Jefferson there. You have the shadow of Barbados, and it's really a foreshadowing of Batman. There's a connection there. A lot of Batman fans will know what I'm talking about. But we cut back to the library. It's just a weird thing that the Riddler's doing. You don't really know. And a shout out right here, you have the seduction of the innocents right there. And if you're deep in the comic books, you know what that means. And also, what a great little Easter egg just for this whole story, especially with an innocent person that needs to be sacrificed for this ritual seduction of the innocents. So the Riddler has this guy set up, and he knocks all the books down, and Batman saves him, and he has to do mouth to mouth. And you just don't know what's going on. You're just as much in the labyrinth and confusion as Batman is right now, because Batman's confused with this shift in the Riddler and these things that he's doing. They're not really crimes. It's just sadistic, cold-blooded acts. He gets his next clue on a cassette, and these clues are just laced with terror because you don't know what's going on. The pacing is really frantic, too. It's like Batman has to go very quick, and the artwork has that pacing reflected in a great way. And then you have Batman's surgical precision reflecting that frantic pace, where I just look at him in the hands. That is fantastic. And then he gets that curl. He's more of a beast than he is man. And this guy he knows it. He gives up the goods. Now we're going into another just weird, odd Riddler setup here at a blood bank. And he's kidnapped 5 babies just for some unknown reason. And he does that there. Batman, of course, in the nick of time, he catches this, and we find out it's not, it's a bomb. It's just a dummy. And then, oh man, that right there, that is just symbolic horror. If you really think about it, Batman was born in blood from when his parents were shot down. But this is just to the extreme. He's covered in it. And just think about being covered in blood would trigger something in you. It would just be horrifying just to have that on you. More frantic pacing. Because right now, he's trying to catch the Riddler, but he's left one of them out in the street. And when I was reading this, the tension was palpable. I could feel it. Yeah, you gotta stop. Even when you're reading something like this and you're, okay, it's not gonna happen. This kind of gave me a feeling of, it really could, because of what the Riddler's been doing in the previous panels. They do just a wonderful job with the tension and the horror of what's almost happened. And then there's another clue. So he saved one of the children, and there's a tarot card, and tarot cards are just, it's symbolic of fate, when it has that mystical flavor to it that this whole thing has been laced with, especially with the ritualistic part at the beginning. And Bruce Wayne, he's at the homestead. Alfred, always the anchor. The manor is an anchor as well. It's his fortress of solitude. He's actually unwinding. The dialogue here is very sharp, very contemplative, that detective side, which I love about these books. He's getting help from Alfred in figuring out the last clue, and he gets it, and it's to go to, it's a cemetery. They figure it out. Alfred segues, here's your evening wear. A little levity, you gotta have it in this with all the horrific stuff. It doesn't end, it just keeps coming. He goes to the cemetery that he figures out and the riddle, and a hand reaches out. It's almost like Gotham reaching up just to suck Batman down. And this is where it ends. And this lettering is throughout the book. Whenever it's in this red, it's almost like Gotham is talking. That's how I felt. And you're ended with this huge cliffhanger there. That's really great. What a great, horrific ride. The tonal shift in the Riddler, the thematic depth that they created, just reimages the Riddler, and it's truly terrifying. It's more a descent into hell with what the Riddler is doing. And if you like books that blend psychological horror with mythic undertones, you'll like this, and you gotta get it.